welcome to another video. In today's video, well, I'm just gonna tell the story of what happened to my car. So, my car ended up costing me, I think about $3,300 to fix. The rabbits were the grand prize winners of that amount. The rabbits did probably, it was probably $2,300 for the rabbits, $700 for the mice, and then tow truck. So, big ouch. $3,300. So I was able to sell it then to the dealership because I just didn't want to deal with hauling it around and messing and posting it. And then, because as soon as I brought it back to the property, if I had to bring it back to the property, that's an expense, right? The hauling of it. And then the freaking rodents, they might have got right back into it. I didn't want to have that thing out here ever again. So the dealership didn't want the rims. They didn't even look at them. They just, I guess 2 pairs of rims for one car is something dealerships don't want to mess with. So I still have the rims. I got offered $20 for them by a reseller shop there in Bend, and I was like, I think I better post those. But yeah, so I got $6,000 from the car for a trade-in, and boy, I had to finagle with them to get the damn list price. It was ridiculous. Like, they acted like they were doing me some favor with giving me $6,000 for my car. They actually had an 06 Hemi truck, right? So mine was a 05 Hemi Magnum, right? Which has the potential of being like a classic car. I bought it. That was the intent, was to save it and cruise it to car shows, in later years, and to actually build one of those kind of teardrop trailer, camping trailers for it out of another wrecked Magnum, right? That was my plan forever for that thing. I was just going to keep it, right? Well, so it's gone now, and they're selling this truck for like $23,000, I think. And it has like 89,000 miles, and it's a 06. Mine has 90,000 miles, a 05. And they kept lying to me. Oh, that's got a fucking diesel, and those diesel engines are worth, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no, I'm looking at it, and it's a Hemi. It's the same motor. So, dishonest BS, but what are you going to do? So, what I ended up trading it in, and they tried to get me to do this whole credit thing, which, they said I could totally get it, but then they were wrong. And I told them no way I could, get credit, which apparently, even as bad as my horrible credit, my credit was great before the fire and COVID. Perfect credit before the fire and the COVID. Now it's probably the worst credit you probably could possibly have. So they tried to get, but the truck that I wanted from the start, that I'd been looking at the price online from the start, and when the sales manager comes up to me and tells me the price is like thousands of dollars higher, but they're dropping it down to this price, and I'm like, that's the price it says online. I'm thinking that in my head and just being disgusted with the way they play games. So I ended up getting, a decent deal. It cost me $3,300 to get my car that, if I could have parted my car out kind of thing, it would have been worth something, but to get it back, to just sell it the way it was, maybe $1,000, $1,500 somebody would have given me for it, maybe, right? So I invested $3,300 and was able to get that up to $6,000, which, it's decent, right? And then I traded that in on a truck that an '09 with only 40,000 miles. And we're talking the totally other end of the spectrum for my truck, right? So my truck is a F-350, but it's almost 20 years old. So driving this freaking thing all the time has been, and when I say all the time, I don't drive much. I drive like 1 to 3 times a week typically, right? So it's not much at all. But when I do drive, I mean, it's probably over 100 miles when I do. So, but the capabilities of this truck, of an F-350, to just go get groceries and pick up post office box and little things, or haul the black water even, or do anything, most things I do to roll a 350 is overkill. Now, I just had a fire. I had to replace like my entire life, and I still don't even have, running water, normal housing type situations. I'm so far away from all that. But the main thing is running my truck all the time for little stuff is just taxing it. Like, this truck will last and do hauling the backhoe, hauling big loads with the trailer. When it's snowing or icing out, I'll roll the big truck. Probably to haul water too. But the little truck, I think, will haul water, but I'll probably just use the big truck just to kind of save the little truck that extra bit of huge abuse, right? Every other week, right? Ish. So, but I mean, this new truck is a 4-cylinder, right? Stick shift 4-cylinder, no AC. Bare bones, but it only has 40,000 miles on it. So it should last me again for just a really long time. And I should, like last year, I spent over $5,000 on rental cars, tow trucks, and cabs. And doing cabs out here is no joke. I mean, it's $100 just to start. Just, where are you going? $100, and if not more. So that whole situation, $5,000 in a year. And then when I just had a breakdown in the middle of a giant purchase, and I had put a deposit and had the money, and then my truck broke down and took all the money and created this huge issue, I'm just like, never again. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm getting this other truck. As soon as I get payday, I'll get this other truck, pay off the rest of it. I've basically done like half the deal. I'm just waiting for my payday to have the rest of the money. And then my truck's going to go into the shop. I'll have 2 trucks at that point, but my F-350 will go into the shop and probably needs about $2,500 or $3,000 again, which is typical. But then at that point, I will be running it so infrequently that I should be fine. With just regular maintenance. I mean, yeah, but the things that I've done to it, like just not running it nearly as much. So I don't even know what I drive, but it's going to be decreasing what I drive this vehicle by quite a bit, right? And right now, I don't just, like, I've got to have a bunch of things set up to do because turning on a diesel motor and going and burning diesel fuel and doing all this to, like go for a bike ride, go out to dinner and go for a bike ride, have a nice time. Like, nah, no. I gotta need groceries or supplies, some kind of, maybe some post office box stuff has come in, but I typically try to live by the rule of 3. Like, I need to have 3 things at least to do to drive into town. With an F-350, getting this new 4-cylinder truck, like, I might just drive into town to go for a bike ride and have dinner, because the gas is no big deal, and the truck is, only got 40,000 miles on it, so I can have a little bit of a life, possibly. Shouldn't get too excited now, but yeah. So that's, what the truck's going to offer me is just a potential to not have to worry. And, this truck, the concept was actually to be able to tow each truck. So getting some kind of trailer that I can tow with, so I can, but then I realize like I pay for towing on my Geico insurance, so that's really not that important, right? It's, if the trucks are breaking down, like they shouldn't even be that way. Like the work that I need to get done on this is, some needs to be done and some, it's just stuff that needs to be done. It's not like, oh my God, the truck's going to just break down style stuff, which, has happened, but not in this situation. So anyway, it's been a long thing, and my motorcycle is still in the shop. And that's like a whole other part of this, that I was hopefully going to sell the motorcycle and use that money to be into the new vehicle as well. But the motorcycle's taking so long, and it's going to be so hard to sell. And I actually bought header wrap to do the pipes. So now it's going to be even cooler. I don't see what paradigm I want to save the motorcycle in, though. Even if it works and it runs and I can just do whatever, like, I just don't want to ride a motorcycle. Like, I don't really, I used to like riding motorcycles when I was a kid, but it's been so many years since I've ridden a motorcycle that it seems more danger than benefit to me. So I'm just going to put that up for sale, and hopefully I won't, I'm not even going to talk about it. It's going to be a massive loss regardless. So anyway, new truck coming soon, and once that's done, I can actually then schedule my commercial drone pilot's license test, right? Which is, I needed to get this truck situation taken care of before I could actually get that done. And then once I got it done, then I can do the drone stuff. Oh, I'm so excited. Like this video, subscribe, have a wonderful day, peace.